Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are creating this scrolling testimonials section using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So here we can see that there are 3 columns over here and all these testimonials are scrolling up and down. And if I reload this page, we can see that every time we have random testimonials displayed over here. And we had started designing this in the previous video and this is our progress. Right now we have added just the design using HTML and CSS. Now in this video we will add the functionality and also this animation. So let's get started. Alright, so here's my source code, and the first thing we will do is we will add all the data inside our JavaScript file. And here we can see that we have this main.js file and it is empty right now. So what we can do is we can go ahead and create a constant and call it testimonials. And this can be an array of objects, and in this array we can have several objects for the content of these testimonials. So we can just create a name and we can add a name over here. I'll just type Sarah Johnson, and for the next one we can add a role, and we can add a role over here. So I'll just type marketing director, and then we can add the content. So I'll just add the content over here. Let's copy the content from this one right here and let's paste it over here. And then lastly we need to add the image. So let's type image over here, and here you can add the link of your image. So if you have an image inside your project, you can add the link of that project over here, but I'll just add the link of an API called randomuser.me. We had used this in the previous video for generating the image. So I'll just copy this link from here and let's paste it over here. And let's change men to women. So this is the details of the first testimonial. Now in this way you need to add the details of all the testimonials that you need. So I'll just go ahead and quickly copy and paste the data that I have over here. Alright, so I have copied and pasted all the data that I had for the testimonials array of objects, and these are all the data. Now the next thing we can do is we can create a function to generate this HTML structure for the card. So let's go ahead and create a function, and I'll just name the function create testimonial card, and we'll just pass the testimonial data over here. So I'll just call it testimonial, and here we can just go ahead and type return, and let's add this inside backticks. And here let's go ahead and copy this markup. So let's copy this card from here and I'll just paste it over here. So this should be an arrow function, so just fix that right here. And here we need to get the data from this testimonials variable. So let's go ahead and delete this. And here let's add $symbol curly braces. So this will get dynamic data. And let's type testimonial. And we will have an image over here. So let's type .image. And here for the alt, let's type $symbol curly braces testimonial .name. And we have a typo over here. Alright, then we have the name. So here for the name, let's type $symbol testimonial .name, and then we have the role. So let's type $symbol testimonial .role, and then lastly we have the content. So here let's type $symbol testimonial .content. Now the next thing we will do is we'll create a function to populate the columns. So we need to have different data for each of these columns. So for that, let's create a function and let's call it populate column, and we'll pass the column ID over here. And let's create an arrow function, and here first of all let's target the column ID. So let's type const column equals document dot get element by ID, and here we'll just pass the column ID. And then we need to go ahead and add the HTML that we get returned from this function create testimonial card to this column. So we can just type column dot inner HTML plus equals, and this will add all the testimonials one after the other. And here we can just type create testimonial card, which is this function right here. Now here we need to pass the testimonials. So first of all, let's go ahead and create a for each loop to loop through all these testimonials. So let's type testimonials dot for each, and each of the testimonials will be called testimonial. Let's create an arrow function over here, and I'll just add this line of code inside here, and here we'll just pass the testimonial. So what this will do is this will loop through all the testimonials that we have over here inside this constant, and it will pass it to this function called create testimonial card. If we just have one instance of the testimonials, then it will not display the data in a seamless manner right here, because we'll be able to see the end of the last testimonial. So what we need to do is we need to create two instances of the testimonial, and we can do that by just spreading the testimonials over here. So I'll just go ahead and add this inside square brackets, and here we'll just type dot 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 to spread all the testimonials data, and let's add a comma and let's type dot 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 testimonials. So what this will do is this will spread all the testimonials data, and since we are adding the comma over here and then adding this same code over here once again, dot 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 testimonials, this will add the same data over here once again. So in this way we'll have two instances of testimonial. So now we will have a seamless experience for this animation. Now what we can do is we can go to the HTML file and delete all the data that we have over here. So I'll just delete all the cards, and I'll also delete all these other columns. So now we can see that we have this testimonials container, we have the column, and then we have this testimonials division. Now in this testimonials division, we will add the content dynamically using JavaScript. So I'll just duplicate this column because we need to have three columns. And I'll just name this one ID of column 2 and column 3. And now here we can see that the testimonials are not being displayed. Now let's go ahead and call the function which is called populate column. So we can just do that by typing populate column and pass the column ID. So I'll just type column 1. And now we can see that the first column is populated. In the same way, you can also type populate column, column 2 and column 3. And we can see that all the data is populated. And let's also take a look at the mobile version, and everything seems alright. Now the next thing we will do is we need to display these testimonials in a random order. So every time we refresh, we can see that we are getting the same order for all these columns. So just for making it look good, we'll just go ahead and randomize this. So for that, what you can do is you can just go ahead and type testimonials, which is the array of objects for all the testimonials. And then you can go ahead and type dot sort. And in this, we can just go ahead and create an arrow function, and we can just type math.random, and we can type minus 0.5. So this will give us a random order of testimonials every time. So after this, we can just go ahead and populate the column. So let's type column 1 over here, and we'll just go ahead and duplicate this for the other columns as well. So let's copy this and paste it down here, and here let's go ahead and type column 2, and here we'll just type column 3. And if you go back to our browser, here we can see that we have different testimonials displayed every time for different columns. So the randomizer is working alright. Now the last thing we need to do is we need to add the scrolling animation. So for that, let's go back to our CSS file, and let's go ahead and create the keyframes over here. So let's type at keyframes, and for the identifier, let's type scroll up. And for the scroll up animation, we just want to go from 0 to 50%. So let's type from for the 0th frame, and here let's type transform and translate y, and let's type 0 over here. And for the last frame, for that we can just type 2, or you can also type 100%, and let's type transform translate y negative 50%. Now we are adding 50% over here because we don't want to display the last testimonial on our screen, so that we have a smooth scrolling effect. Now since we have added two instances of the testimonials over here, all the testimonials will be displayed even if we go to 50%. And let's go and copy this and paste it for scroll down. Here I'll just type scroll down, and we will start from negative 50% to 0%. And now the next thing we will do is we'll go to the testimonials division, and here we'll just add animation timing function. and let's set it to linear, and then we'll just tap animation iteration count, and we'll just set it to infinite. So this will run for infinite amount of times, and it will have the same speed throughout the animation. And now let's go ahead and add the animation for all the columns. So let's go ahead and type column, and let's target the first element. So we can just type nth child 1, and in that we'll have testimonials. So let's target that, and here we'll just tap animation name, and let's set it to scroll up, and let's set the animation duration, and let's set it to 23 seconds. You can play around with these values and adjust it to your needs. So I'll just copy this and paste it down here for column 3 and 2. So let's set this to nth child 2 and nth child 3. And for the second one, let's tap scroll down, and let's set the duration to 50 seconds. And for the third one, let's set the duration to 30 seconds. So each of them will have different animation speed. But now if we go back to our web page, here we can see that we have the animation working alright, and everything is working as expected. We have this column moving up, this one going down, and everything is working alright. Now let's add the functionality to pause the animation when we hover over this. So for that, let's scroll up and go to the testimonials selector, and here let's tap testimonials. And before that, we need to type column hover, and when you hover over the column, we will set the animation play state of the testimonials. So let's tap animation play state, and let's set it to paused. And now if we go back and if you hover over this, we can see that the animation stops. Now for tablet and mobile versions, we don't want this effect to happen because we don't have hover effect in that. So for that, let's go back and let's go to our media query, and here this is a media query for tablets. So let's go ahead and type column hover testimonials and animation play state running. Here we can see that the animation is being paused when we hover over this. But if you go to the tablet version, here if you hover over this, the animation doesn't stop, and this is also working alright. So with that, we have completed designing our scrolling animations section using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below, and if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.